Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please email me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing the Rolex Cellini Dual Time. This is an oyster-cased dual time dress watch from Rolex, 39 millimeters in Everose red gold. The timepiece measures a reasonable 12.5 millimeters thick, and from lug tip to lug tip, a reasonable 45.4 millimeters, with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, I call these sizes reasonable for two reasons. One, the lug-to-lug dimension means it wears well across a small, narrow wrist. My wrist here is 16 centimeters in circumference, but you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. The thickness is reasonable because it sits low on the wrist, and with a domed bezel, it'll slide easily underneath a dress cuff, which many collectors believe is a prerequisite for any dress watch. Taking a quick look, these are unusual specs if you are most familiar with Rolex sports watches. This is a Rolex factory alligator leather strap with a pin buckle. So we have a large rectangular scale, black matte finish, alligator leather strap with a monotone stitch, and as you can see, a broad folded edge. It's calfskin on the bottom, and it is a brand new, ungouged, uncrimped Rolex factory strap. The pin buckle is a special piece for the Cellini models. As you can see, it features the Rolex 5-point coronet, and it is entirely of high polish. Rolex calls its rose gold Everose because it will never fade to a lighter color. It will never fade from red to rose, pink, or yellow, whereas many other rose golds and red golds will actually fade quite a bit. This is achieved by the combination of two materials in addition to the gold. A high percentage of copper makes it red, and a high percentage of platinum makes it resistant to oxidation. The entire case is polished, the lugs are blended in profile, and you can actually see from head on they're quite narrow and graceful. We have a screw-down crown. The watch is 50 meters water resistant, which frankly probably makes it surface swimmable, just not on this strap. The bezel is two-stage. It's not the fluted bezel you'll see on, for example, Date-8s and Date-Justs. It has a very narrow, fine coining rather than a larger, chiseled fluting, and half of the bezel is actually domed and polished. The other half is coined. The dial has a dramatic sunburst guilloche that radiates out from the center, with the strakes expanding to larger widths as it moves away from the hands. We have alpha-style hands in rose gold at center. They are actually fluted down their center to better crown the dial and contrast against the dial. Also crowning the dial, we have a 5-point coronet and small rose gold applique and faceted hour indices. You can see there's a channel that shows you minutes and seconds, and that splits the hour indices in two. We have a sub-register with two polished chapter rings, inner and outer, for the second time zone. And if you look carefully, you can see there's actually a day-night indicator for the second time zone, so you know whether you're looking at nighttime or daytime. Well, here you can see that we're actually looking at approximately 4:16 in the morning, and I'll show you how you can tell. The watch, watch that little window, the watch will let you know that that little sub-register is transitioning to daytime as the stars give way to the sun. Now, right now, the two time zones are synced up, but that's not necessary. I can actually move the local hour hand independently. This is completely independent of that second time zone, and you'll note the watch continues to tick until I pull the crown out all the way. Now I activate hacking seconds. Underneath the solid oyster case back is a Rolex manufactured caliber 3180 automatic winding with bidirectional winding action. It has a 48-hour power reserve, dual time capability, hacking seconds. It beats away at 8 beats per second. It pivots on 31 joules. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and for shock tolerance, it has a full balance bridge and a free sprung index. It also features a Breguet overcoil hairspring that helps the watch keep even time no matter what position it is in, and that hairspring is an anti-magnetic blue oxidized niobium zirconium alloy Rolex calls Parachrom Blue that makes this watch fairly water resistant, shock resistant, and anti-magnetic for a dress watch. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.